Hi, this is Jason, Chief Technical Analyst with ToroAlerts. Today we're taking a look at the financial sector, the XLF in the top panel, and then on the bottom panel we've got the XLF divided by the SPY, so we're looking at the financial sector relative to the broader markets. And we can see on this bottom panel here we've been, on relative terms, kind of chopping around sideways in relative to the S&P 500 since 2001. After we did have a bit of a breakout in early 2001 in the financial sector, but we haven't seen any relative strength breakout above this 0.09 on this ratio chart. So seeing price action get above that on the XLF divided by SPY would be definitely be a bullish sign for the financial sector. But until we see that, then we're likely going to be chopping around between 0.08 and 0.09 on this ratio chart. And then when we take a look at the XLF on top here, we can identify a couple of really key levels. The $31 price point on the XLF is a very important area of support and resistance. It acted as resistance back in the Great Financial Crisis, as that's where it peaked before the big sell-off. We also saw a top out in the XLF in 2018 at those levels, as well as right before the COVID crash as well. So there a lot of resistance there at that $31 price point, and then we ultimately did see it break out above 31 in early 21, and that ultimately set us up for a decent little rally in the XLF, ultimately peaking out right around 40 or so, which was a Fibonacci extension off the COVID lows, and that was a pretty logical place for it to find some resistance and consolidate. It ultimately did right around that $40 level, and then we did see a bit of a sell-off in financials going into 2022. And so as long as we're above 31 though on the XLF, I think there are long opportunities to trade in the short term. That $31 price point is a very key area I'm watching for support, and if we see a breakdown below that 31 level, I think that's the time you want to be out of the financial sector, and that'll likely also be a signal that the broader markets are probably selling off if we see financials drop below that $31 price point. But in the meantime, there is some potential short-term opportunities to trade the financial sector long. And we've got a few price targets to the upside on the XLF, the first one being that $40 price point, which is that COVID extension, Fibonacci extension to the upside at 40. We also have the Fibonacci extension off of the Great Financial Crisis, which would put us at about 47 or so on the XLF. And if we saw further price action to the upside in the financial sector, then the next level we'd be targeting would be about looks like 54 or so on the XLF. So there's a few upside price targets to look for if you're trading this thing long. I think there could be some short-term setups for some financial trades in the early part of 2023, but we do need to be really cautious, as I think there's a pretty strong probability that we'll see a pretty aggressive and steep correction in the markets at some point in 2023. But so far things are looking like that might pan out a little bit more like Q2 or Q3 before the sell-off starts. So for now, things are looking decent in the financial sector, and as long as we're above $31 on the XLF, I think there's opportunities to trade that sector long. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure to download the ToroAlerts app on the App Store. We've got one for stocks and one for crypto, and you can check us out at ToroAlerts.com.